this module, we are going to be going over follow-up prompting, but more specifically, we are going to be diving into the understanding section of follow-up prompting. So how can we use follow-up prompts in order to better understand the generated knowledge that ChatGPT is giving us? Well, we are going to learn that in this video. Now, this is a very useful and basic prompting technique, but the results are very powerful, and it's very important to know this when prompting in any sort of LLM, like ChatGPT, Google Bard, Claude 2, whatever large language model you're using. Follow-up prompts are essential to know. But in this case, we're using ChatGPT, so we're going to be showing the examples in ChatGPT. We're going to be diving into every aspect of follow-up prompting. With that being said, let's get into it. So understanding is one of the categories that I have for follow-up prompts, and these are categories that I've created in order to categorize your follow-up prompts in a specific way. So we have analyzing, understanding, and expanding. 3 ways that you can use follow-up prompts for success in ChatGPT, and today we are going over understanding. So let's dive into it. The first thing that understanding prompts help with are clarification and details. So understanding follow-ups emphasize the importance of seeking clarification on any topic. It encourages the user to ask the chatbot for more specific details or for simpler explanations of complex concepts. So you can use these follow-up prompts in order to better understand more complex issues, or you can use it just to get clarification on the generated knowledge that ChatGPT is giving you. The next thing it helps with is contextual understanding. So the focus when using the understanding follow-up prompting method is on understanding the broader context of a topic. This is one thing that using understanding follow-up prompts are great for. Now, be sure to stick around for this module because I'll be showing you some examples at the end, and it's not just going to be text the entire time. We are actually going to dive into ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you how to use these follow-up prompts in action. But using follow-up prompting for understanding further into ChatGPT encourages you to ask about the historical, cultural, or social context that surrounds the subject as well. So you're not just going to be getting the baseline view of a general broad subject, but you can dive deeper into the historical, cultural, or social context of that issue, topic, whatever it may be as well. And it doesn't just have to be those things, but you can get context in your generated knowledge for further understanding. Now, the next thing is example and application. So this category suggests asking for examples or real-life applications to better understand abstract concepts or theories. So you can really dive deep into the abstract concepts or very complex theories that may be generated with your initial prompt in ChatGPT. You can use an understanding follow-up prompt in order to delve deep into the issues, and it helps gain you an understanding on what it really means. So let's go over some common understanding follow-ups. The first follow-up prompt that is very useful in the understanding category is, what does term/concept mean? So if you generate some knowledge with ChatGPT and you don't understand something that was in that generated knowledge, you can ask a follow-up question or give a follow-up command telling ChatGPT to help explain what a certain term or concept means within the generated knowledge. And that will just aid in grasping the specific meaning of terms or concepts. The next common understanding follow-up prompt that can be used when prompting in ChatGPT is, why is this important? This will help in understanding the significance or relevance of a topic. And it's very nice to let ChatGPT explain to you why something is important or why did it generate the knowledge that it did. Next, we have, can you break this down step by step? Now, I love this one because this will help you go super deep into ChatGPT's reasoning. There's another thing called chain of thought prompting, and that's what this is kind of telling ChatGPT to do. It's telling it to go through its chain of thoughts as it develops its answer. So you can tell ChatGPT to break down its explanation on a topic or solution step by step, and it will assist you in understanding the complex process or idea by dividing them into simple, smaller steps. So now let's jump into ChatGPT and actually put this to use. So let's say my initial prompt in ChatGPT that I want to get some knowledge generated for is, can you explain the concept of artificial intelligence and its current application? So something pretty basic and pretty broad that we can dive deeper into with understanding follow-up prompts. And we can help break down these complex ideas and topics and big words into smaller, more manageable ideas and concepts that we can actually grasp and retain. So I'm going to send off this message, my initial prompt, to ChatGPT. And it did a wonderful job at generating this nice amount of information in order to try to explain artificial intelligence as a concept, and also it gave some of its current applications in different industries. So we have healthcare, finance, retail, automotive, and so on. But let's say we want to dive a little bit deeper into understanding everything that AI has to offer, and we see a word like machine learning. Maybe we want to understand what the term/concept of machine learning is. If you remember correctly, this was the first follow-up prompt that we could use when trying to dive deeper into understanding a certain concept using a follow-up prompt. What does term/concept mean? So we can use this and we can replace term/concept with machine learning since that's what we want to learn more about. So that's exactly what I typed in. What does the term machine learning within AI mean? So this would be an example of an understanding follow-up prompt. It's going to help us further understand information within this long paragraph that ChatGPT generated. So I can send off that message and ChatGPT will start generating more information. That way we can ask even more follow-up prompts even within the same chat thread. It doesn't just stop at one follow-up prompt. You can use follow-up prompts from different categories, the same category, whatever it is in order to further your understanding on a topic or a subject. So it did a wonderful job at describing machine learning after I asked the follow-up question of what does the term machine learning within AI mean? As you can see, the next follow-up prompt we have is why is this important? So maybe we can dive even further into machine learning and ask ChatGPT why is this important? It's going to help us understand it much more. And we don't just have to keep going down one chat thread and asking all of these common follow-up prompts. I'm just showing you an example of how you can keep diving deeper within the same chat thread. But you can use this on anything you want. You don't have to do it in this order. You can mix and match these. You can come up with your own understanding follow-up prompts. These are just 3 common ones in order to get your mind spinning on how you can use follow-ups for better understanding complex topics. So maybe instead of just learning about machine learning and continuing to go down that rabbit hole, we want to just learn why AI is important in general. We want the general idea of why AI is important. So I could ask a question like this: why is AI important in today's technological landscape? So maybe I want to get the general idea of why is AI important in today's technological landscape. So referring to technology. You can get as concise as you want with these understanding follow-up prompts, or you can keep it broad and let ChatGPT run around and give you a bunch of different ideas on a bunch of different things. But I'm going to go a little bit more specific when introducing this technological landscape. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to send it off and just show you how the understanding follow-up prompt works. Once again, ChatGPT does a wonderful job at breaking down why is AI important in today's technological landscape, and it gives me 8 different points that I can learn from and study. But let's say I want to go more in depth on one of these points and I want to generate even more information by asking an understanding follow-up prompt. Maybe I want to understand one of these points a little bit better. Let's say I would like to understand the data handling and insights point a little bit better. If you remember correctly, another one of the common follow-up prompts is, can you break this down step by step? And this is going to assist in understanding the complex process or ideas by dividing them into simpler steps. So like I said, we want to learn more about this data handling subject that ChatGPT generated from the last answer. As you can see, it says data handling and insights, and it goes into a little paragraph about how AI uses data in order to manage and analyze and extract meaningful information. So let's say we want to go a little bit more in depth on this subject. What I could do is I could ask it a question like this. This is a great follow-up question. Can you break down the process of how AI learns from data step by step? Adding the step-by-step is very nice because it's going to break it down into a nice list for you to read step-by-step. And it kind of helps you when retaining that knowledge, because when you have a list instead of just a long paragraph of information, it's going to help your brain retain a lot better. So I'm going to send this off, and this is definitely going to help me understand the process of how AI learns from data as well. And as you can see, it does a very good job at labeling this out super nicely. It gives me a 10-step list on how AI learns from its data. So this is amazing. It goes step by step. It gives me 2 bullet points for each section. Just does an amazing job at quickly breaking this down step by step. And as I read through this, I can actually start to see how the process of data collection and how it learns from data is actually working. So when prompting, whether it be in ChatGPT or any other large language model, it is super, super important to keep this concept in mind that you can ask a follow-up question or give a follow-up command in order to have ChatGPT further break down and help you understand your complex topics, issues, problems, whatever it may be. It doesn't even have to be complex. It can be small things too. This is going to help you when using generated knowledge to create even more generated knowledge. And it's really an amazing thing that you can continue in one long chat thread with ChatGPT. Use it to your advantage. That's all I have for this module. It was short but sweet, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you could learn something from this. Even though it's a very basic concept, it's very important to keep in mind. It can help you in ChatGPT or prompting in any other large language model, as I have said multiple times. With that being said, congratulations on finishing this module, and I will see you in the next one.